Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea that every single time you tap your phone or click buy, you're actually paying tribute to this huge invisible empire. And, just understanding how it works, it could completely change your financial future. All right, so let's get right into it with a super simple question about your day. Just think about the last few things you bought. For instance, did you maybe buy a new app or make one of those in-app purchases on your phone? Or maybe your monthly payment for something like YouTube Premium or Netflix just went through. How about that package you just ordered from Amazon? See, every one of those little clicks, well, there's a much bigger story going on behind the scenes. The whole idea we're digging into today is that with these simple, everyday things you do, you've already become a citizen of a massive, invisible economic empire. It's an empire that doesn't run on cash, but on something way more woven into our lives. So what even is this invisible empire? Well, it doesn't have armies. It doesn't have borders. Instead, it works more like a powerful digital subscription, this massive network that quietly shapes how we all live, work, and spend every single day. And every empire has its rulers. So who's in charge of this one? Well, they're probably names you already know really, really well. Yup, they're the Magnificent Seven: Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Nvidia, and Tesla. Think about it. From the phone in your hand to the cloud servers that pretty much run the internet, their reach is just extraordinary. And here's the really important thing to get. These aren't just regular companies selling products. They are digital platforms. They're entire ecosystems that have managed to capture the daily lives and, this is the crucial part, the time of billions of people all over the world. The logic for how this empire keeps growing is actually pretty simple. As more and more people in developing nations get online for the first time, whether that's a student in Africa or a new family in India, their first digital steps almost always lead them straight into these ecosystems. And that means the territory of this digital dollar economy just keeps expanding at lightning speed. So this brings up a pretty big question. Why is this whole empire so heavily centered in one country? Why are all 7 of these companies American? Well, it seems to come down to a pretty unique mix of things. America is like a magnet for the best talent from all over the globe. Its legal system is stable, which gives real protection for new ideas. And its financial markets are trusted, which provides the cash to turn those ideas into something real. It's this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. And this whole dynamic really shows you the empire's staying power. Just think about the next big wave of tech, things like AI assistants or self-driving robocabs. As these new things change our world, you can bet the profits they make will almost certainly flow right back to the owners of these platforms, just making them even more dominant. Okay, so if we're saying this digital empire is real, what in the world does that mean for you and your financial future? The big idea here is this: you have to make a shift. You have to go from being just a citizen, a user, a consumer, to becoming an owner, a shareholder. So how do you actually do that? Well, the source material lays out a surprisingly simple, totally stress-free investment solution. It's really designed for long-term goals, like retirement. So instead of trying to guess which individual company is going to win, the answer here is an ETF, or an exchange-traded fund. The easiest way to think about it is like a basket that holds shares of all 7 of these companies. It basically lets you invest in the entire digital empire with just one single simple purchase. The strategy it lays out is a really straightforward 3-step plan. First, use a tax-advantaged retirement account. Second, consistently invest in an ETF that tracks these big tech giants. And then, and this is maybe the most important part, just be patient. This isn't about complicated trading. It's about riding a massive, long-term global trend. The real idea here is to just shift your mindset. You're not trying to guess the crazy ups and downs of the market every day. No. Instead, you're investing in something that's a tangible certainty. The fact that billions of people are living, working, and spending inside this digital system every single day. And that leads us to probably the most important message about your mindset. The goal is to focus on the underlying value of these global platforms, not the price of a stock that's jumping around every day. See, by becoming a shareholder, you're aligning your own financial interests with this incredibly powerful global trend. You're basically letting your assets grow even while you're asleep, because the digital world never, ever stops. You get to become a master of your own time and your financial future. And this all brings us to the final, really provocative question that we're left with. In this digital dollar empire, we all play a role. The only real choice you have is whether you're going to be a consumer who just pays tribute or a shareholder who collects the rewards.